Hi, Greg. So the internet is reacting off of Adrien Broner's DAZN interview, where he talked about how he hasn't taken a fight check in 6 fights, and how he was getting paid by Haymon, and guys are using this to say, "See, I told you PBC was broke," and a whole bunch of narratives that. Tell me what you thought, because I may have a different takeaway from that than other people.
The first thing I thought was smart, because one thing about old head, right? This is why you gotta respect old heads. They been there. They been there and they done that. If they haven't been there and done it, they've been around it. And he from Ohio. I don't know if they from the same city. They from Ohio.
I think Al might be from. Where's Don King from? Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, Al's from Cleveland.
So Cleveland and Cincinnati. What I'm trying to say is he know that kid. He knows something about him, and you know a lot about him by just watching him. If he was to dump all that money in that kid's hands, he would destroy himself. He might not be fighting next week. You know what I mean? And Broner also in that interview was honest about drinking, things like that. So, I mean, I think it was smart, because what it tell me about Al Haymon, he run like a banking system, where you know how banks, they got a bunch of people putting their money in, and then they invest in the money. You know what I mean? But they got enough money where they can give you your money when you come ask for it. You know what I mean? It wasn't, now if he'd have said, I asked for a check and Al ain't give it to me, that's something different. But when he was speaking on Al giving him 10 grand, 5 grand a day, and then it was breaking down, what he's speaking on, I'll see you getting greedy. You getting a little crazy. Youngin, let me tighten you up. I mean, you're not budgeting your money, because if I just gave you 10 grand and you calling me back a day later or 2 days later, that means you just snapped out. You know what I mean?
So then that's the logic behind bringing the payments lower and lower, so you're not spending as much, so you're rationing out your bread?
Exactly, which I think is smart, because if you're doing it like that because you have to with a guy like that, that means he know this kid would have destroyed himself and burned all that money. So I'm gonna make sure he always got some money. Why am I gonna make sure he always got some money? Because I made a lot of money off of him.
Do you think fundamentally, like the critics, because I see a lot of fans and a lot of fellow YouTubers, you know, getting on Al, and do you think they forget that he's an advisor / manager, and his objective is to manage your career?
Yeah, they forget because they're not thinking about it that deep. You gotta remember, we talking about people that sit on the couch and eat pizzas and talk shit. And I mean, most of these people that talk shit on YouTube, if you go look at their page, their YouTube channel, there's no videos, there's no pictures, there's no nothing, because they using it to hide and say shit, to say the shit they saying. So you really gotta pay them no mind. And you gotta remember, Al Haymon is an all-around fucking genius. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it to him. He a genius. I never met him, I never talked to him, but he a genius. So anybody at that level that can maintain that type of level of like starship, where they got these guys making all kinds of money in all types of venues they ain't never been in all types of cities they ain't never been in, he knows something. So if he, like I said, if he seen that kid out here dumping that money like it wasn't shit, hold up, champ, I'm gonna put a cap on you, and I'm gonna put the cap on you so that you can have money later on. Because at the end of the day, Broner got kids, man. He got kids.
So you hire a guy like Al Haymon to protect you from yourself, essentially?
Yeah, because like I spoke on before, everybody who's good at something is not good at everything. And when you put energy into being good at one thing, it's hard to be good at. I never met somebody in my life that was good at everything, huh? All right, bet. That's good money. I never met somebody that was good at everything. You know what I mean? I met some talented people. I met some gifted people, but not everything. And usually people who are book smart, not all the time athletic. A lot of times people that's athletic, not all the time book smart. But once in a while you get a case, people that can do both. Now, when you get a person who's athletic and they have a talent and they good at something, but their crutch is they like to party, recipe for disaster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure young boy don't burn all his bread. Because at the end of the day, I fuck with him. Like he said, if you also listen to the interview, he said, man, I could call Al right now. Me and Al talk like we knew each other like we was brothers or something, or like they homies. Not everybody had that relationship. I'm not saying that's the relationship people should have with him. I'm not saying everybody should have that same situation. But I believe the reason he has that situation with Al Haymon is because, you know what I mean, he will burn through that money, and he took a liking to that kid because he at one time he had the world in his hands. But I fuck with him enough, I ain't gonna let him fuck his bread up.
Now, you know Al Haymon fighters personally.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Have you ever heard, do the complaints from like the media, fans, and pundits match the complaints from the fighters?
That's actually a great fucking question. I just asked a Al Haymon fighter, no, it's not Cool Boy, how did he feel about his career so far with Al Haymon? And he simply said, Greg, I would have never made the money I made with Al Haymon. I would have never made that money anywhere else. So I like my situation. Simple. Kept it just like that. You know what I mean? And that let me know enough. So I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Everybody would automatically assume it's Cool Boy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't Cool Boy though. I know motherfuckers probably thinking, oh,
in the comments.
Cool. Nah, it wasn't Cool Boy.
Especially since Cool Boy coming out and saying that him and Al made the NOE fight happen. Him and his team.
Right.
And everybody thought that Al would try to block the fight.
Right. So that let me know, damn, Al Haymon really, you know what I mean? Yeah. He about his business. And he gonna make sure you eat. And that's great because a lot of promoters, a lot of advisors, a lot of managers in the past didn't give a fuck about the fight. And they begged them to take fights. And the guys did it for the little bit of money they was paying them, and they ain't do nothing but rape them. You know what I mean? So how could you hate a guy like that?
You think that's where the blowback comes from? Because he's not allowing his fighters to, quote unquote, get raped like in the past?
Part of it is that, and another part of it is he's the Phantom Menace. There's not an interview out here with him in it. The only sighting of Al Haymon was clear sighting was when Mayweather was fighting Shane Mosley.
I remember that.
And Mayweather stalled the clock a little bit, and Al had to go back there and make sure he was cool. He's like, "What's up? You good?" He's like, "No, I'm straight. Motherfuckers gonna wait for me." You know what I mean? That was the clearest sighting I seen of him. Yeah. You know what I mean? When he had to go get Mayweather, make sure Mayweather was chilling, and there wasn't no issue. And you know what I mean? The show was gonna go on, but Mayweather was just letting them know they gonna, you know what I mean? They gonna have to stay ready because I'm coming out when I'm ready to come out. That was the clearest sighting I seen. So I think people be mad because he not the type of guy you could just interview. He not the type of guy you could just call. He not the type of guy you could just that you have access to. So people talk shit, and they talk shit because they know he not gonna say nothing. But he ain't gonna say nothing because he don't have to. Most of us is trying to get a dime of what he got. You know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck?
That's the interview I want though. I need that on my.
No, you get that, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in the mega books.
Yeah.
If you get that, and I believe you will one day. I believe you will.
Yeah. Al, if you're hearing, show brother some
YSM.
love.
And I don't gotta be in the interview. I just need to be sitting there though.
Right.